All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Warum liegt hier eigentlich Papier rum und warum hast du einen Eimer auf? Nein, Eimer-chan, ich nehme dich trotzdem wieder mit. Ich vergebe dir all deine...
A good bucket. A strong bucket. A humble bucket. A committed bucket. A bucket of culture and distinction.
Ja, wir tun einfach so, als wäre das alles nie passiert. Das ist jetzt hinter uns, das ist Vergangenheit. Wir gehen einfach vorwärts und auf zu neuen Abenteuern. Beziehungsweise neue alte Abenteuer, weil es sind Dinge, die haben wir schon gesehen, nur hatten wir unseren trauten Eimer nicht dabei.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nö.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Ich weiß jetzt gerade gar nicht, ob hier noch was anderes ist. Ich probier's mal aus. Wenn nichts anderes passiert, sehen wir uns gleich hier wieder und ich mache da drüben weiter.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Hat das jetzt mit dem Eimer zu tun oder weil wir das mit der Linie letztes Mal, dass wir hier ein zweites Mal sind? We care about you, Stanley. Das Baby, meine Freundin, der Tisch, der Computer, das sogar das
You see, your
Besenkammer.
friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the adventure line and the broom closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the adventure line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Aber Eimer-chan. Ich liebe meinen Eimer-chan. Wenn er nicht original, sondern neu ist, aber es ist Eimer-chan.
Whee! Look at that wagging line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Nein, nicht schon wieder die Musik. Ah! Weil irgendwie finde ich die geil, aber irgendwie geht es mir auch auf die Nerven. Ich pack die
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Nein, ich gebe meine Eimer nicht her. Niemals. Und die Musik packe ich garantiert irgendwo ins Outro. Ich mag die Deckenfarbe. Es sieht aus wie ein Schwimmbecken. Ich gebe meinen Eimer nicht her. Ich liebe ihn so sehr. Da kann die Linie eifersüchtig sein, wie sie will. Spooky. Sieht sehr einladend aus da hinten. Klar, da gebe ich mich doch gerne hin.
we need to get rid of the bucket.
Nein.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Nein.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Nein, ich gebe meinen
Can
Eimer
you
nicht
guess what
her.
the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Nein, ich werfe meinen Eimer nicht in den Eimer Zerstörer 500.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Ich frage mich, was
The
passieren
Bucket
würde, wenn
Destroyer,
wir den
my
Eimer da rein.
prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Frage mich, ob wir den Eimer da überhaupt hätten reinwerfen können und was dann passiert wäre. Ich bin neugierig, aber ich glaube, ich weiß nicht, ob ich es übers Herz bringe, es auszuprobieren. Ja?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Seit wann wird hier angerufen?
Understood. Your order will be canceled immediately. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Wir arbeiten also für die Future Happiness Foundation. Das ist auch mal was Neues. Interessant.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Na, hoffentlich.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting
Ja,
room.
ja, wir gehen
But
mal wieder
Stanley had
zurück
felt
zu
the bucket
unserem
calling to him, telling him that the
Lift.
employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
So, jetzt machen wir mal
Stanley
verschiedene
took the door on his
Lift-Dinge, die
left
man mit dem
to go
Lift
back
machen
to the
kann.
meeting room. No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Dann machen wir wieder den
Oh,
hier.
well, look who's got cold feet. Well, from here, it looks like the only way forward is down, since the lift won't be coming back, but that's okay. You've got a bucket. Did you know that buckets are routinely used as cushioning devices? It's true. You can fall on a bucket from literally any height and survive.
Ist das eine Minecraft-Anspielung?
I'm serious, Stanley. Jump. Jump with the bucket. I promise you'll live. I extra double promise that you can land on the bucket and not die.
Ich weiß nicht, ich vertraue meinem Eimer, aber ich vertraue dem Erzähler nicht. Aber nun gut. Eimer, fang mich.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong.
Oh,
How clumsy of me.
blöder Erzähler.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Gute Einstellung eigentlich.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Das klang jetzt sehr komisch, als würde ich mit diesem Eimer Dinge tun, die man nicht mit einem Eimer tun
This was not
sollte.
the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Ja, da waren
And
wir
here it
schon.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
So.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nee, wir
No,
können...
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good.
Said the
So.
bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Nein.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching,
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Ja, das machen wir jetzt mal. Schauen wir mal, ob uns wieder unsere Freundin anruft oder ob uns die Freundin vom Eimer anruft oder was jetzt passiert.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
Oh, together. Okay, ich möchte ein harmonisches Zusammenleben mit meinem Eimer, bitte.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Aber hey, nices Apartment. Es ist viel schöner als mein altes. Mit meiner Schaufensterpuppenfreundin. Hey Eimer, wir können uns eine echt nice Hütte leisten. Hallo Stanley, ich bin es, dein Eimer. Drücke X, um mich zur Arbeit mitzunehmen. Ich bin es, dein Föhn.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Und was ist mit dir? Du bist doch auch nur in unserem Kopf und gibst uns Anweisungen. Drücke R, um mich zurück nach Hause mitzunehmen. Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Den Eimer kann ich wenigstens anfassen. Ich kann ihn umarmen. Ich kann ihn streicheln und lieb haben. Ich kann Dinge hineinfüllen. Er ist nützlich. Im Gegensatz zu dir, Erzähler. Du bist wirklich nur eine Stimme, die mir Anweisungen erteilt und mich regelmäßig umbringt. Drücke Z, um zurück zur Arbeit zu gehen.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Das ist immer noch mehr, als du tust. Hör nicht auf den lauten Mann. Drücke F, damit wir wieder nach Hause gehen.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Ist da jemand eifersüchtig? Dass ich den Eimer mehr lieb habe als ihn? Niemals. Drücke V, um alle in deinem Leben außer mir zu ignorieren. Aber gerne doch.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Will der Erzähler jetzt auch seinen eigenen Eimer? Du hältst mich für real, oder Stanley? Drücke Q, um wieder nach Hause zu gehen.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Drücke V, um denselben Tag mit mir wieder und wieder zu erleben. Ach, Bucket, Eimerchen, Eimerchan, für dich jederzeit.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Ist auch gar nicht creepy hier, diese Schattendarstellung. Aber es ist halt mehr als einfach nur ein Eimer. Es ist mein Eimer. Es ist mein Emotional Support Eimer. Ohne ihn kann ich nicht sein. Drücke G, um nach Hause und zur Arbeit und nach Hause und zur Arbeit und nach Hause zu gehen.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Eimer, das wäre doch nicht nötig gewesen. Wir können uns auch gerne noch Zeit lassen. Ich will dich zu nichts drängen. Aber die Kerzen sind sehr schön, vor allem die in der Pfanne. Oh, Eimer, ich liebe dich so sehr.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need
Nein,
it.
wir
Give it
lieben
to me
uns.
now. Give it or I'll...
Geh zurück zur Arbeit, Stanley.